Welcome back to BK Nothing But Nets. We are live with our fourth mock draft. It's mock draft 4.0. Last time we got Kingston Flemings with the 8th overall pick, I think it was.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done one.
Yeah, it was so long ago that Flemings was going 8th. That's how long ago that was.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, no, it's going to be a fun one. Fanspo's finally updated their players as well. So we've got guys like Ibuka Okoro, Tyler Tanner's now in here. There's a bunch of new guys in here that you'll be seeing on our end. So I posted my updated big board, I believe, 2 nights ago. Fully updated from scratch. I deleted everybody, started from scratch. So I believe we've got a 65 to 70 player big board right now. So it's going to be a fun one. We'll do a full 2-round draft. First round trades, no second round trades. So if there is going to be any form of second round picks moved, it'll be in a first round trade to move up.
I do want to share how close Tankathon standings are. They are extremely close. Everyone is tied at 12 wins, right? Like everyone has the same amount of wins. So yeah, you can see how close it is, right? Sacramento's 12-37. New Orleans is 12-37. Indiana's 12-36. We are tied with Washington at 12-34. So the 5 teams are all tied with 12 wins, and the only difference is 3 losses that separate the teams. So I think it's a very fluid situation. So what we have today very well could change as far as the Tankathon standings, but we're going to go with what we have right now. Are you ready to get started, Dylan?
Let's do it. Let's do the lottery simulation. We haven't done any yet, so we're going to be doing our first one here today. I'm not sure if Fanspo has updated us to number 4 or not, but we'll see how that goes. One lottery simulation, as Dave Portnoy says. Everybody knows the rules.
Everybody knows the rules. Everybody knows the rules.
Let's do it, man. They do have us at 4. All right, here we go. One lottery simulation.
Hit it, sim lottery.
Let's do it.
Is this what I do? Yeah, hit this. All right, let's go. Come on.
Pray for top 4.
Let's go. Let's go.
No, I already saw it.
7. 7. Extraordinary. Yeah.
All right.
All right. That's the rules. The rules are the rules.
Hey, you know what's going to happen, right? We can already predict the Bucks are getting a top 2 pick once Giannis gets traded. We'll just throw that out there.
Do you think Giannis is definitely getting traded? I mean, the deadline is fastly approaching. Do you think he's definitely getting traded before the deadline?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about Michael Porter Jr.?
No. Standing by. I'm standing by. Here we go. My man is not leaving.
Go. Come on. Come on.
Not leaving. He is not going anywhere. All right. We are invested. Let's get it, man. 7th overall pick, not where you want to be. But again, we are 1.5 games behind the 1st overall pick, so these standings could very well change very quickly. 7th overall, though, is going to be a tough spot to be in.
Where do we go from here? What do I do now?
You're going to click use in my mock draft.
Oh, there it is. It's been a while. It has been a while.
I'll give you that. All right, if you scroll down a little bit, make sure everything's clicked. NBA, yep. Is my big board clicked? Yeah, click on your big board. Yep.
Got it.
And then start. Let's do it. Number 1 overall pick, the Utah Jazz. By the way, for those of you who do love college basketball like myself, you've got Darren Peterson versus AJ DeMonster tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern. So
4:30 Eastern starts, right? So 3:30 my time. Okay.
Be massive game. With the first overall pick.
This is interesting going to Utah, which is not going to happen. But let's say that it does. They have Ace Bailey. Would Ace Bailey and DePanza work together? Would they go? How does that work? What would I mean? This is actually an interesting case study because I don't know which one of the 2 they would pick.
I mean, I still think it's obvious who the number 1 pick is as of right now. It's very close, but I don't think that's going to change. For a team like Utah, you've got Keontae George, who's on the brink of being an all-star. You've got Larry Markkinen, who's an all-star. You have Jusuf Nurkic, who's quite literally playing like Nikola Jokic. Ace Bailey at 6'10" at the 3. I think you go Darren Peterson here. You play him at the 2, and you.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the other way. Okay.
Yeah, you've now got one of the best overall starting 5s in basketball to me personally. I think once you pair two All-Stars in Keontae and Larry together and you add two high upside prospects in Ace and Darren Peterson in back-to-back years, I think that's by far one of the best young starting fives in basketball. So going Darren Peterson
Would there
at
be
number one.
pressure on Utah to pick DeBanza, who plays in Utah, and Cam Boozer, whose dad is a Utah legend? Would there be pressure on them to pick one of the other two if they did pick in that position?
I don't think so. I mean, it comes down to what they feel the best overall fit is and also who the best overall player is. Danny Ainge isn't the type of person who's just going to pick based on fit. He's still going to take the best available player. And as of right now, Darren Peterson is still the best player in the country. Injuries aside, he is by far still the best overall player.
That's my big. He doesn't play enough, right? That's like my concern.
Neither did Kyrie, though.
That's true. That's true. And he wasn't the best player in the draft. That was Kawhi Leonard. Your favorite.
Yeah.
Your favorite.
But yeah, number two overall, the Atlanta Hawks. Again, I just absolutely hate the fact that they're even in a position to get this pick. I do think that it's AJ DeBonsta, though. It's without a question. If they do make a move on Anthony Davis, where they are moving away from Zachariah Richeche, Porzingis, and things like that, I think that the forward position is something they're going to need. And pairing DeBonsta, potentially Anthony Davis or Sabonis with Jalen Johnson, I think that's a really good start for them long term. Point guard still going to be the biggest position of need for them, I think, but having those four guys, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, AJ DeBonsta, Jalen Johnson, and then potentially one of Anthony Davis or Sabonis, I think that puts them in a really good spot.
We got Chicago at 3, and this is interesting to me because Chicago is one of the teams that are always in purgatory. It seems like they're always like a 9 seed, a 10. Like they're always a playing team. Does the NBA hook them up? It's a big market, obviously. It'd be nice for the NBA if Chicago was good, if they had another star there. Does the NBA try to hook up Chicago, or do they just look at that as exactly what I said? It's purgatory. We don't really care about Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, this honestly makes a ton of sense for Chicago. His father played here. He's played both Utah and Chicago, but I'm going Cam Boozer here at number 3. There's a very, very big debate on whether or not he's currently the best player in the country. You see the stats there. He's actually having a better statistical season than Cooper Flagg was, and you just saw what Cooper Flagg did last night with 49 points.
And the other boy,
the nipple man.
Knipple. He was cooking.
He was, listen, those two are going to be incredible for years to come. Like I said with Knipple, he truly reminds me of like a mixture between Austin Reeves and Klay Thompson if you pair them into one player. So it's going to be scary in Charlotte for a couple of years if they're able to build that team properly. With the 4th overall pick, they get their Giannis replacement, Caleb Wilson at number 4. Depending on what happens with a Giannis trade, who knows? But being able to bring in Caleb Wilson as his replacement, 6'10", has comparisons to Kevin Garnett. I think that is a really, really good fit for them at number 4.
I want to stop you right here. How big of the drop? We know 1, 2, 3, 4 all-star caliber players. How big is the drop off from 4 to the rest of the draft?
It's tough. I don't think it's that far of a drop anymore.
Okay,
cool. If you really look at this, Flemings to me has all-star potential. Wagler has all-star potential. Acuff, Mikal Brown Jr., Jaden Quinnance all have star potential. There is a lot of players in this year's draft. This is going to be a really, really fun one.
My concern, Mikal Brown's got length. Kingston Fleming's not that small. Acuff, he's a little guy. He's a smaller guy. Has the league passed him by? Is he going to be in the same problem where Trae Young is in? And he's just. I mean, he's a good player, but he's he's too small to truly be impactful.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think that he's got the talent. He's got the separation. He's got the first step. He's got the athleticism. Maybe on the defensive end, there could be a little bit of trouble in the NBA, but overall as an offensive player, I don't think, maybe his first year is rough. Maybe he doesn't come in and looks as he did in college, but I think over time he's going to be a really good player in the league. Like I said, star potential, but worst case scenario, 4th option. Like, again, if you're drafting your 4th option, that's not a problem for most teams. So with that being said, the 5th overall pick, Sacramento, drops from 1 all the way to 5. I'm going Kingston Flemings here. I think he is without a doubt the 5th overall best prospect in this draft class.
I think I think that 5 right now is pretty much set in stone. Like that's 1, 2, 3. The only thing you may argue is flip 1 and 2, but I think those 5 guys in some order are the top 5.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Indiana here at 6. This is a really tough spot for them. They're really filled at the guard position. I do not see them taking a guard. I think it's a little too early to go with Jaden Quainance here, and I just don't see the fit for Koa Pete in Indiana, especially if they do keep Obi Toppin and Pascal Siakam. There's just really not a need for him there. I do want to explore some trade options here, potentially. I know Indiana only has 1 pick in this draft. So let's see. Click on trade pick. Let's see who's around this area right now. We may be seeing an OKC trade up potentially. Memphis makes a little bit of sense. Does Memphis have any second round picks?
Is it? They got the 33rd.
Okay. Let's
10 and 33 for 6. Is that a deal?
Honestly, no.
That's
do 10 in a future Orlando Magic first round pick to move up to 6. I don't hate that idea at all for them.
10.
And then just put add
8.
future. Yeah. Future Magic first round pick, because they have, I believe, 4 or 5 of those from the Desmond Bane trade. Honestly, add 33 in there as well. Why not?
All right. Trade
so moving
picks.
Up 4
you ready?
spots. Let's do it. Memphis up at number 6. This is where, and again, I don't think that he is the 6 overall best prospect in the draft, but if there is a time for Memphis to blow it up, I do think Mikal Brown Jr. still has the highest upside out of these players. So I'm going to go Mikal Brown at number 6. Usually I would have him in that 8 or 9 range as of right now. The efficiencies are very poor at the moment, but he is by far at 6'5" as a two-way guard. The ability to play make and the ability to score is there, so the upside is there for sure. With the 7th overall pick, Brooklyn.
Koa Pete, what are we doing here?
Welcome to the top 10, my friend. Keaton Wagler is going number 7 to Brooklyn.
All right, nice. Another
6'6" shooting guard. This to me is the Cam Thomas replacement. There are a lot of comparisons being drawn out there for Keaton Wagler. As of right now, the one that I like the most, Devin Booker. He has really taken off in college as of right now. I mean, this is a guy who wasn't projected first round, and now he is in the top 10 for majority of mock drafts. So to me, this would be an absolutely great get if you are able to get him at 7. And this kind of just goes to show how deep this draft class is getting. So I absolutely love the pick there for them. This is where it gets a little weird.
This is a Nets channel. Let's address that because it's Nets channel, right? Let's talk about that fit here. Let's talk about that for a second. He's a 2. Is he more of a wing? Is he more? You're saying Booker, so he's a 2 guard. Can he handle the ball at all?
Yeah.
Can he be? Is he a secondary ball handler? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pull up his stats on here because we kind of tapped away at him pretty quickly. As of right now, he is averaging. Let's see. He's currently averaging 17.7 points, 5 rebounds, and 4.2 assists. He's shooting 48% from the field. He is also shooting 43.7% from 3. Really, really good shooting splits. 81.5% from the free throw line, and only 1.5 turnovers per game. So this is a kid who is able to handle the ball and protect the ball at all times as well. The upside on him, like I said, is tremendous. I already see the comment where it says that's a reach. We said the same thing about Yegor Zhomin last year. So when you have a player who you feel is the guy, you take him, whether you feel he's 3 spots ahead of where you're taking him or if he's 5 spots down from where you're taking him. You take who you feel is going to be the best overall player. And to me, as of right now, when you've drafted Nolan Traore, who looks to be the future, 6th man on this team at the backup point guard position, when you have Yegor Zhomin, who has shown the potential to be a star in this league, I think that you go with the position that you need the most and whoever the best player is at that position. To me, Koa Pete has not really done anything tremendous since his first month in college. He's been pretty consistent at that 13 to 15 points per game mark. So to me, the ability to keep Michael Porter Jr., to potentially move on from Claxton. You've got Drake Powell, who can be, the 3. As of right now, if it was me looking at a Keaton Wagler pick at 7, you'd have Jaeger at the 1, Wagler at the 2, Drake Powell at the 3, MPJ at the 4, and whoever is at the 5, whether it be Sharp or Claxton. So to me, that's a really good young core that you've built, and now you're able to kind of move on from there and see what you can create.
All right. Let's how do you feel the 2-year rebuild project would be complete? Wagler and Jaeger as the crown, as the crown jewels of that. How do we feel about that? That's just starting 1 and 2 for years to come, and then Drake Powell at the 3? Is that a thing that we can do? How do you feel about where we are in the rebuild?
I'd feel comfortable. I mean, like I said, you would still have the ability to go out there and make a trade if you really want to. If Giannis survives the trade deadline, I don't see the Nets not potentially getting him. I'll just put it that way. I do think that in terms of draft capital, the Nets have what it takes to get it done. If you package up Nick Claxton, Terrence Mann, Noah Clowney, potentially Ben Saraf, and somebody else, you could get it done. So there's ways to get it done. If you can keep this pick that you're taking right here, and if you can keep Jaeger, if you can keep Michael Porter Jr., if you can keep Drake Powell, then to me, anybody else is available. So, again, let's just put the theory out there. If you have a starting 5 of Jaeger at the 1, Keaton Wagler at the 2, Michael Porter Jr. at the 3, Giannis at the 4, Day'Ron Sharp potentially at the 5, that to me is intriguing. So there's a world out there where this makes a lot of sense.
I don't like Drake at the 3 either. I felt when we drafted him, we were drafting a wing, right? Like, I mean, he would be undersized at the 3. That's not really something that Marks likes to do. What would your thoughts be of Drake at the 3?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would start either. That would more so just be what I would like to see. But again, that's not necessarily what will happen. Realistically, it would probably be, Igor at the 1, Wagler at the 2, MPJ at the 3, Clowney at the 4, and then one of Claxton or Sharp at the 5. So again, there's ways to maneuver around it. But to me, as of right now, the rise of Wagler is without a doubt a top 10 player in this draft. Same thing with Jaeger. Everybody said that we took him a little too early, and he's turned out just fine. So to me, you take the guy that makes the most sense with the best upside, and out of the players available currently, it's point guards or Wagler. So to me, I'm going Wagler.
Let's address this, and then we'll get back to it. This is an interesting comment. I want to do an episode on Zion and Ja, if we can do that before the deadline. Would you trade the pick for Zion? The trade would be the pick and then salary fillers to get Zion or Ja. Would you be interested in that trade?
Nope.
That's the trade. Nope.
I think that is one of the dumbest ideas in the world.
Ja doesn't make a lot of, and I love Ja. Ja and Zion are actually my 2 favorite players to watch. But bringing Ja here doesn't make much sense anymore. We got plenty of point guards. We got plenty of point guards.
Makes absolutely no sense. Zion makes absolutely no sense in terms of health and contract. There's no reason for it. Stay the course.
Well, yeah, I'd be dumping off contracts. I'd be dumping off probably Mann and Claxton to make the contracts work.
So at that point,
so Claxton, Mann, and this pick.
So you're playing 6'6" Zion at the 4, and you're playing 6'9" Day'Ron Sharp at the 5. Again, it's just
that's a beast. You want to fight that team? That team is gonna bully people around.
I'm good. I'm gonna pass.
I'm passing on Ja for this pick. I'll give you a couple of the next picks for Ja. I'm not trading this pick for Ja.
I wouldn't even give picks anymore for Ja.
Trey didn't get any. Trey didn't get any. I mean, but that was my concern with a. But all right, let's get back to. I would consider this for Zion. I would not consider it for Ja. All right, you took it down. Dylan doesn't like it. Dylan doesn't like it.
With the 8th pick in Washington, this is again where it just gets very confusing. They have Bub Carrington. They have the ability to make trades this offseason to improve the roster. To me, I think this is maybe where you see Koa Pete go. You can play Alex Sarr at the 5. I really don't like Jaden Quainance as of right now just because of the injuries that he's been dealing with. Comes back from the torn ACL. He's averaging like 5 points and 5 rebounds. He hasn't looked phenomenal. The upside on him is still there, but again, I just don't see him being better than Acuff, than Filan, than Pete. So to me, let's go Koa Pete here at 8. 14.5 points, 6 rebounds, 2.5 assists. I think that's a really solid pick for them there.
All right. Continue.
And then at number 9, if you scroll up a little bit, what is this? Dallas?
Dallas, yeah. It's an interesting pick. They got
Okay.
Is Anthony Davis still here? There's a question. You know, they have a win now team. Is that totally different next year? You know, they currently with all their veterans, they have a win now team. Does that look completely different next season? What's their direction here?
I mean, again, this pick here really kind of comes down to what are they going to do with Kyrie Irving? You know, if they feel like they're going to keep him throughout this contract, then maybe they go center to replace Davis. I don't think Davis gets traded before the deadline. The contract's horrible. So to me, it comes down to an upside swing, or it comes down to best player available. And to me, the best player available on the board right now is Darius Acuff. So I'm going to go with him. That's going to be the Kyrie replacement if and when a time comes for them to move on from him. But I think if you pair Acuff with Cooper Flagg long term, that is an incredible duo to be made in Dallas. Reminds me a lot of like a potentially Jalen Brunson and Luka type of duo in terms of the upside that they have together.
All right. The Pacers traded back to 10 with the Grizzlies, so the Pacers are up at 10. Is this where Jaden Quinton's goes? Or are we going to continue to pass on him?
No, this is where he goes. I absolutely love this fit for him there. They need a center desperately, and he fits the mold of what they're looking for. A lot of comparisons to Bam Adebayo in terms of overall play style. I think if you pair that with Pascal and then a healthy Halliburton, Nembhard, and the remaining team, that could be a team that gets back into that playoff picture. So it really comes down to what the development of Quaintance looks like, and of course his health. But I think that right there is going to be the team that looks at him the most in the top 10.
Here's an interesting one because they got LaMelo Ball, who doesn't play much. What are they? Charlotte's in an interesting situation because I don't think their team's all that bad, but they never really seem to achieve, and their best player LaMelo Ball doesn't play that much. What is Charlotte's move here?
I think they go Nate Ament here. And this is a little
that's what
high
I was
for
thinking
where
too.
I would usually take him.
Yeah.
Because as of recently, I've had him in that like 15 to 20 range based on how he's been playing. But the last couple of games he's played, he's really looked like himself. And I think that the upside swing there is tremendous. You'd probably play him at the 4, bearing, like a Miles Bridges trade. But you can also just play him off of the bench his first year. Let him develop, kind of get a feel for the NBA and put a little bit more muscle on. But to me, long term, I think at 6'10", he's going to be playing that 4 position. So if you have LaMelo, Kneppel, Brandon Miller, Nate Ament, and Ryan Kalkbrenner as your starting 5 long term, I think that's a really good fit for them, especially if he turns out to be the player that a lot of people thought he would be. I mean, not too long ago, we were saying that he could potentially be battling a guy like DeBansta or Boozer for that number 3 pick. So the upside is still there on him. Very, very similar trajectory in terms of draft stock to Nolan Traore this past year.
Yep. Who is starting to emerge, by the way, who looks really good. All right, now we get to the embarrassment of riches. They got the best player in the league. They got the best roster in the league. They got the most picks in the league. What are they doing with this pick?
I think you go with the Isaiah Hartenstein replacement, and that's going to be Hannes Steinbeck. The best.
I don't know anything about this guy. I never heard of him until this pick. What do I need to know about Hannes Steinbeck?
The best offensive rebounder in this draft.
Okay.
He's not going to be an incredible floor spacer, but he still has the ability to do so. Averaging 17.5 points, 11 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field. I don't know exactly what his 3-point percentage is. I can pull it up real quick. But he is a very, very solid all-around player. To me, being able to add that next to Thomas Sorber long-term and Chet Holmgren, I think that's exactly what OKC would be thinking if they were to be selecting 11th overall. He's shooting 32.3% from 3, so the upside is there. So to me, I think that's a really solid pick for them at 11. It may be a bit of a reach, but again, it's OKC. If OKC takes a player, there is a high percentage chance they become an incredible role player in this league or a star. So I think they go with the guy that makes sense for them.
All right, when does Yaxel Lendeborg go? Because he's still on our board.
Yeah, honestly, I don't hate the idea of it here potentially. I'm not going to say definitely just yet. Who's up next here?
Portland.
Okay, and then we got San Antonio next. I mean, I don't hate the idea of Phylan here. I mean, it gets to a point where how many point guards can you take year after year? But with Drew Holiday getting older, potentially getting traded, with Damian Lillard coming back from a torn Achilles at his age, there could be a need for point guard there, especially if they look to move on from Scoot Henderson. This, to me, is the team that's the dark horse for Giannis. They own two of the swap picks with Milwaukee in 2028 and 2030. They have the contracts necessary to make it happen with Jeremy Grant and Scoot Henderson. But it kind of just comes down to if Giannis will want to be there. We know that Giannis wants to play with Drew Holiday again, and he absolutely loved playing with Damian Lillard while he was in Milwaukee. So to me, this here is the team that makes the most sense for Giannis, but it's going to come down if they get him or not. So I'm actually going to go Braylon Mullins here at 14 to end off the lot, or 13 to be the second to last pick in the lottery. Add the floor spacer that they may potentially need. He hasn't really been the greatest in terms of his college career so far, but he's been stellar. So to me, I think that makes the most sense for him there.
Next up, we got San Antonio.
Yeah, it sucks to have to do this to LeBaron Phylan because I absolutely think he's a top 12 talent in this draft. But I'm going to go Yaxel here. I think San Antonio takes the smart pick. They take the pick that makes the most sense. Yaxel's NBA ready. He'd be an immediate rotation guy, if not starter, potentially. And this would be the Jeremy Sochan replacement. So to me, Yaxel ends off the lottery for us here at 14.
Memphis is back on the board.
This is crazy to have him fall this far, and it sucks because they just took Mikal Brown. But I'm gonna go with Patrick Ngamba here, out of Duke center. This could be the potential Jaren Jackson replacement over in Memphis as well. He's been rising up boards. A lot of people have him in their top 10. I don't personally see it, but I do think that he's got the upside to be, a very solid starting big man in this league. So I'm gonna have Ngamba go 15th to Memphis.
And Miami's on the clock now at 16.
This would be an absolute steal for them if they were to get him. Go Phylan. I usually have
There you go.
going here.
Yeah.
But to me, if you land LeBaron Phylan in Miami, you're getting a potential all-star point guard. He is a sophomore, so in terms of upside, that could play into account as to whether or not a team would take him. You'd be surprised how many teams decide to go freshmen rather than upperclassmen, but to me, he is absolutely incredible. There is no doubt in my mind that he can be an all-star point guard in this league.
Tande Yasapu is still on the board. Is it realistic that he drops all the way down to the out of the lottery this far? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of questions surrounding him in terms of his consistency and his efficiency. So, there's a chance that he could fall to this area of the draft, like the mid-first round. Golden State up here, I mean, it's such a tough pick because at some point in time you want to get the Steph Curry replacement, but at the same time you're still trying to compete with him, so it kind of just comes down to what they feel is going to make the most sense. To me, if they are going to go out there and trade for Giannis, you are probably giving up Kuminga, Butler, and Podziemski. So that puts you in a position to where you do need a guard. So Christian Anderson, Braden Barris, Cameron Carter, these are guys that make a lot of sense for them there. And to me, I think you kind of just have to go best player available. So Christian Anderson is going to be heading to Golden State in this scenario. Absolute rocket of a player so far, by the way, averaging 20 points, over 7 assists, shooting nearly 50% from the field. He has been absolutely incredible for Texas Tech so far this year.
We move. Oklahoma City's back up. This is what pick is it? 16, 17? Where the hell are we at now?
I believe
17?
we're at 18. Yeah,
18.
I mean, they could very well select this pick. They could potentially trade it. I had a scenario that I put out there today where the Nets do get this pick in a Day'Ron Sharpe trade. It would have been Day'Ron Sharpe and Haywood Highsmith heading to OKC. And then Ousmane Dieng, Kenrich Williams, and this pick heading to Brooklyn. I don't know if they would give up 18. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on it. We're probably gonna do that at 26. Just because if Utah ends up keeping that pick, I do think that OKC will take their first two picks. And with that, I think, again, they go with upside. We're going to go Tunde Yesufu here at number 18. And this is going to be another another rich getting richer moment for them. So 18th overall, Tunde Yesufu. And then heading to Toronto. This is where I would usually have Tunde going. But to me, I think, again, they need floor spacing. They need a guy that can handle the ball. If they are really moving in on Domantas Sabonis by trading Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, I'm thinking they're going point guard or shooting guard. So because of that, I'm going to have Braden Barris go here. At 6'4", he can handle the ball. He can space the floor. He can play off ball. There is the potential to where Scotty Barnes can run the point guard position next year for them. So to me, I think you got to go with the best floor spacer on the board right now.
Moving along here, Atlanta back at it at number 20.
Yeah, I'm going to have them take Cameron Carr here. I think they need a little bit of scoring, especially if they are going to look to move off of Nickeil Alexander-Walker at some point in the near future. Adding a guy that's putting up 20 points per game right now at 6'5", I think that's a really solid move for them.
There's still some good names on this board. Kristen Ack is still on the board. Charlotte's back up at 21. Pick from Phoenix.
This is exactly where I am going to take Sinak. I think that there is still a question as to whether or not who the starting big man is going to be there long term, and the upside on him if you can get him at 21. I think that's going to be a really solid player for them long term.
The Lakers at 22.
Do the Lakers have a second round pick? Can you check that real quick? Trade pick? They don't.
Wait, they don't. They do not.
I mean, there is a world here where you could. There's already rumors going out there right now that Brooklyn could potentially be facilitating a deal that sends DeAndre Hunter to the Lakers and Rui Hachimura to Cleveland. The Nets would have to give up a pick in that scenario to the Lakers if they want this pick from them, because they don't own their 2027 pick. I mean, we can get surgical with it, but to me, if you're going to do it, it would be Hunter and Day'Ron Sharpe heading to Los Angeles, and then it would be Haywood Highsmith, Rui Hachimura, and Dalton Knecht heading to Cleveland. It would be Gabe Vincent and one of either Lonzo Ball or Dean Wade, plus the 22nd pick, plus 2 second-round picks from Cleveland. So
do you want to do this trade? Do you want me to put this in?
I mean, we can, let's do it. Let's
all right.
Let me pull
walk me through this like the half a retard that I am. All right.
Let's see. So I'm going to add the teams here. Let's see. We're going to go Cleveland, Brooklyn, and the Lakers. So it will be Rui Hachimura heading to. So here, let me fill out the trade first. I'm going to say it out loud, and then we'll get everything all set up. Let's see. Haywood Highsmith to Cleveland, and then Gabe Vincent to Brooklyn. Gabe Vincent would be a buyout candidate, of course. How is this looking financially? Lakers still have to cut money. I mean, I don't think necessarily. I mean, there is a chance that Dalton Knecht potentially heads to Brooklyn because Cleveland has Sam Merrill. They have Jalen Tyson. They have Dean Wade. They have Tyrese Proctor. So they don't necessarily need a guard or a forward. So honestly, if Gabe Vincent is getting bought out, I could definitely see Knecht coming to Brooklyn as a potential, high upside swing. The Nets would be taking on $13.6 million worth of contracts here. If that's the case, I do think the Nets would move on from one other player. Maybe Cam Thomas gets dealt here to Cleveland. So that's what I'm going to do here. So we're going to have the 2026 pick heading to Brooklyn. The Nets would have to give up a 2027 pick to make this work. We'll say the Houston swap heads to the Lakers. And then we'll have Denver's 2027 second as well as Cleveland's 2032 second heading to Brooklyn. So final trade, this is what it's going to look like here. You can type in Nets receive Gabe Vincent, Lonzo Ball, Dalton Knecht, and then I'll wait for the picks.
It was Vincent Connect and what else?
I was gonna say if you want to here restart, take out that line, go Nets receive. Here, if you wanna, yeah.
Okay. Nets receive.
Gabe Vincent. Lonzo Ball. By the way, shout out Icebreakers, man. These things are fucking phenomenal. Dalton Kennett.
What the hell am I doing?
K-N-E-C-H-T.
I'm trying.
Connect foreign out here. What are we? The Lakers 2026 first round pick. A 2027 Denver second round pick. And then a 2032 Cleveland second round pick.
All right, so we got 2 seconds. All right.
And then Cleveland would receive Rui Hachimura, Cam Thomas, and Haywood Highsmith. And the Lakers would receive DeAndre Hunter, Day'Ron Sharpe, and the 2027 Houston swap.
And Houston swap. All right. So this pick goes to the Nets then, yeah?
Yeah, this pick will go to the Nets. So you're going to go down to 35 and add that for them.
I got it.
Mean, you could say that the Nets trade the 44th pick to Cleveland as well. Honestly, I don't hate
all right.
that.
Yeah, all right. And
so yeah, we'll do that for
Nets.
now.
All right. All right. How can I add a third team here? How do I do this?
No, we can't. We'll do it. So put 22 to Brooklyn, and then click trade.
All right.
22nd pick to Brooklyn from the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Okay, there you go.
And
all right, trade pick. There you go.
And then what you could do
when we get to Brooklyn.
You know we're gonna forget about it. Here, do it. We'll do it now. Click on trade pick. And then you can go click on Cleveland. Yeah, they're at 28. And then send 44 to them. No, not
44.
40, yeah, 44. Come on, we're a facilitator here. We got to earn something.
All right. We're good?
We're good.
All right, cool.
All right, so the Nets move up to 22. And with that pick, I'm going to have them select Kareem Lopez, another high upside swing. Because they have Danny Wolf and Nick Claxton still on the roster after this trade, I don't necessarily think they go center until the second round. And again, you're still looking for upside players that can hit in this league. Kareem Lopez is a guy who 50% of people project to be a lottery pick, 50% of people project to be in that 18 through 22 range. If you can get him at 22, I think it's a no-brainer for Brooklyn.
Minnesota's up at 23. I don't know what Minnesota's doing. I don't know how long Ant-Man's going to be. What does Minnesota do? Just best player available?
I mean, I would hate for them not to go Tyler Tanner here, but they are the type of team to just continuously keep passing on point guards. So yeah, go Thomas Haw. That is the most Minnesota pick possible. I mean, he's a great talent, going to be an immediate fit and an immediate impact player. But, you know, if it was my choice in Minnesota, I would probably say Tyler Tanner, which is why here the rich keep getting richer. And they're going to select Tyler Tanner here. Actually, yeah, go Tyler Tanner to Boston. I like it. He's been so incredible this year for Vanderbilt. Another guy that nobody has really projected to be a first-round pick prior to the season beginning, and he's now sprouted into potentially being a top 20 pick. So I like that fit for them there.
25, the Knicks are up.
Yeah, if there is that world where New York does get that Giannis deal done, which, again, I don't know why Milwaukee would do it. They don't have the assets, meaning the Knicks don't have the assets to get a deal done, so I would think it's stupid for them to do it. But let's just say hypothetically they potentially do. I think the big man position is still going to be the biggest question mark. So Henry Vassir here, very, very similar to Isaiah Hartenstein during his time in New York. I think that that is another really good pick if they're able to get him there at 25. You're muted.
At 26 now, the Thunder are back on the clock. They can't. Are they going to make it? They got Steinbach and Yesufu. Are they making 3 picks here? Remember, they still got a second.
They very well could, but I do think that they do trade this one out. So let's take a look at a couple of deals that could be made. Maybe there's a team that doesn't have another pick this year that's willing to give up, a boatload of seconds or a protected first, maybe something like that. So we'll take a look. Click on trade pick. Let's see. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Let's see if there's any teams that don't have any more picks. A good amount of teams, actually. Okay. I don't hate the idea of Philly. I don't hate the idea of potentially Chicago. It would probably be an Eastern Conference team if I had to guess. Right now, I'm looking at Amari Allen for a team. Chicago took... Who did they take in this draft so far? They picked at 3, so they got Boozer. So they don't necessarily need another wing. They have Matas Buzelis. They have Boozer. They could go... I mean, if they had Vassir still on the board, I would definitely say trade for him. Who's coming up in the second round that could potentially look to move up as well? Sacramento makes a little bit of sense. You know what? Let's have a little fun. Let's say Philly makes a move here. So we're going to have Philly completely take off the protection to whatever pick it is that they have over in OKC. Let me take a look to confirm which pick that may be. Let's see. They actually don't own any more Phillies picks. Let's see. Philly has currently 16 total picks. They have multiple second-round picks. Let's say that OKC trades 3 or 4 future second-round picks to move up here to 26.
Okay, so Philly trades
say 3
multiple
seconds
to move up. All right, cool. And then so this goes here. All right.
That's Atlanta.
Wait, what the hell just happened
You
to
gotta
Philly?
scroll all the way down.
Here they are.
Gonna be there we go.
There you go. All right. Trade pick. We're good?
Let's do it.
All right.
And then with that pick, I'm going to have them go Amari Allen here. At some point, you are going to have to find that Paul George replacement. And I think a guy that's putting up 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3.5 assists as a freshman at his height could be a high upside swing there at 26. So definitely don't hate that idea for him.
27th.
This is an interesting move because they very clearly need a back point guard. I'm not really a fan of a lot of the selections that are on the board. I just don't think Malik Thomas is a fit over in Denver. I don't personally think Bennett Sturtz is a first-round caliber player. I don't hate the idea. Like Dalen Swain to me is a perfect Denver Nugget, but that's also the type of pick you make if you're not confident enough to feel like you're bringing back Peyton Watson. With that, I am gonna say let's switch it up. I'll go Malik Thomas here. I do think that he is the best player on the board currently in terms of upside, and especially if you can play a year as the backup to Jamal Murray. I think that he's versatile enough to where he can play the 1 and the 2. So definitely don't hate the pick. I just don't know if it's the most Denver Nuggets fit pick that they would take.
All right, moving on. We're back to Cleveland at 28. Cleveland's up at 28.
Yeah, so in this scenario, if you scroll down to the Nets pick at 22, who did we have going to Cleveland again? It was Rui Hachimura, and was it Haywood Highsmith?
Cleveland receives Rui and Cam Thomas and Highsmith. Yeah.
Okay, so they got their two guard. They don't need to necessarily go Dalen Swain here. Um, I doubt that they would bring back Haywood Highsmith if they're going to have to pay Rui Hachimura this offseason. So I'm thinking wing here. If you scroll back up to the board, let's see. Yeah,
Swain?
go Joshua Jefferson here. I
Joshua
think that that's a
Jefferson.
really solid fit for them as the backup four, especially with Dean Wade being an expiring contract as well this year. They may look to try and replace some of those guys.
JT Toppin still on the board.
Yeah, it's so weird because he is a first round caliber talent, but because of his
Yeah.
age, the upside may not be as much there as some people think. So those types of guys always fall. It's unfortunate, but with this pick in Detroit, this here is where I absolutely love Dalen Swain. I think that if you're able to pair him with Asor Thompson and Ron Holland, that's a really interesting trio of wings that you have going for you in Detroit. So I think that that's a great pick there. By the way, welcome to the first round, Dalen Swain, a player who I absolutely loved last year throughout the draft process as well. Now finally making his way into the first round.
Yeah, with Xavier last year, and then he came over with the coach. Yeah.
Yeah. To end off the first round, I think that, again, you kind of just take the upside swing here. Koa Pete, to me, is a safe pick for most teams because I don't think the upside on him is as much as some people may think. I think that he's going to be an Aaron Gordon-like player in this league, which is much needed for a team like Washington who's looking to take that next step in potentially being, a play-in team. So for me, I think that you go ahead and take a Daymara here, a junior center out of Michigan. Michigan has been very
The big
reliable.
guy. There you
Very
go.
reliable
Yeah.
at producing NBA talent. So, I don't think that he's necessarily going to be your future star, future starting big man, but is he going to be a reliable big off the bench? I definitely think so.
We're back to Boston, who takes 31.
Now, just as a reminder, if you want to show the entire first round that we did, we are not going to be making trades here in the second round.
Yeah.
Any picks
yeah,
that were
good.
traded were done in the first round. So there are going to be a couple of teams here drafting in the second round that are owning picks from a first round trade. For me here, this is an absolute steal if you can get him to start off the second round, and that's Maurice Johnson Jr. out of Michigan. I think that Boston's going to be looking to make win-now moves. So Tyler Tanner as your backup point guard with Maurice Johnson coming off the bench as well is going to be a really solid rotation for them with Hugo Gonzalez and the rest of that team in Boston. So Jason,
Quick question for you: how did Hugo Gonzalez get out wide open in the corner? How does that happen? It's one of the
Because we
worst
need
things
to
I've ever
lose.
seen.
Because
Yeah,
we
it
need
was
to
one of the
lose.
it was one of the worst things I ever saw. But continue.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Who is this here? Sacramento. They've already got point guard. To me, I don't hate the idea of Flory Badunga here, just because I do think that he is the best available big at the moment. I also don't hate the idea of Isaiah Evans. They're going to be looking to move off of Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan. Ryan Conwell, to me, is probably the best available all-around player on the board, but I think he's a little too old for what Sacramento's going to be looking to do in terms of their rebuild. Nicholas Abdelas is actually an incredible hit here in the second round. He has fallen off a bit. Yeah, let's go Abdelas here, in all honesty. I don't hate that for them at all. A 6'9" wing that can play the one. The stats are very underwhelming as of right now, but again, reminds me a lot of Yegor Zoman. So I think the upside on him is there, especially if you can get him in the second round.
The Pacers at 33.
I'm going to have them select. They got Quainance for upside. I think they're going to need a player who's going to really help them long term come playoff time. I'm between Ryan Conwell and Isaiah Evans here at the moment. I don't think they need JT Toppin. They have Pascal. They have Obi. By the way, they're not related. I didn't know that. I thought they were.
They're not. They are not related. No relation. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm between Bennett Sturts here because there is the potential where Indiana looks to move away from TJ McConnell at some point, and that is the perfect replacement for him. But I'm going to go Conwell here. I think that they could use a little bit of scoring off the bench, and for a guy who's already NBA ready, I think that would be a really solid pick for them.
The Knicks at 34. I take
I'm
Vassar at 25.
going to have them go Bennett Sturts here. I think that having Sturts and Kolek off the bench could be pretty impressive for them. So I think having a guy who can be NBA ready, come off the bench, reminds me a lot of, like I said, TJ McConnell and Peyton Pritchard. That's going to be a good get for them.
The Nets are back up. This will be their final pick because they traded 44. So this is the last pick for the Nets.
And this is a really tough pick because there's three players on the board that four players actually, that I absolutely love. And that being selections 35 through 39. Flory Badunga, Isaiah Evans, Juke Harris, and Milan Mamaselovac. I know I butchered that. Don't look at me. But with that, Jalen Wilson's an expiring contract. Tyrese Martin's an expiring contract. You've now, in this scenario, traded Aaron Sharp. You've traded Cam Thomas. You've traded Haywood Highsmith. Do the Nets trust Danny Wolf enough to be the backup big man next year is the question. I think Badunga is a very solid pick, but to me, if you have a guy like Evans and Harris on the board, you kind of have to take one of them. I'm really in between here, man, because Evans is a great overall floor spacer. He has like a little bit of Brandon Ingram in his game. I just don't think he has the upside.
I'll be the tiebreaker here, and I'm gonna pick him because I know his game. But can I be the tiebreaker here?
I think it's Juke Harris. Click on it.
Okay. Circle. If it's not a tie, then we'll take Juke. I'm gonna go with you. But if it's a tie, I'm gonna say
click on the little I real quickly before you click draft. I mean, look at the stats: 20 points, 6 rebounds, 46% from the field. He's been really solid, and at 6'7", the fact that he can play the 2 and the 3, I do think versatility and athleticism is going to be something the Nets are looking at. Oh, we're getting copyrighted the shit out of, aren't we? Yeah, man, let's go Juke. I like it. He's starting to grow on me a lot.
All right, the Spurs are back up.
They have bigs. They just took Yaxel. I think this is the team here that now goes Isaiah Evans. It sucks to see Toppin and Badunga fall, but I mean,
yeah, it's what it is.
Oh, and the rich get richer. Flory Badunga to Boston.
The Celtics. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense actually. If they're able to walk away with those 3 players, that's a really impressive draft for them.
OKC
the rich getting richer. I'm between Toppin now and Milan. Just because Milan is one of the best floor spacers in this draft. But it is also OKC. I think the athleticism, Chet and Steinbeck aren't really the most athletic. Sorber's coming back from an ACL tear. They could use a bit of athleticism in the front court. So yeah, let's go Toppin here. I don't think he can fall any further.
The Clippers.
I think they're back-to-back too as well if you scroll up. Are they back-to-back or are they one pick away from each other now?
No, back-to-back.
No, Sacramento's next.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So that probably means the Clippers are at 41. I honestly do like Ibuka Okori here. He has been very, very stellar for Stanford if you've been watching them this year. Putting up 21.5 points, 3 assists, 3.5 rebounds. The efficiency isn't the best, but again, he's a freshman putting up 21.5 points per game. That's definitely something to look at.
Yeah.
For Sacramento again, you're probably looking big man here. I think Zuby Ejiofor is a really solid pick, but again, they could go with the floor spacer. Oh. All right, we're taking Zuby here at 40. We're
taking Zuby. Zuby is what
it
is.
Clippers are back up. Go with Milan. I think that's an incredible pick for a John Collins replacement. I don't see the Clippers wanting to bring back Collins on that expiring $26.5 million deal. For Washington here, I may do a second-round trade for Washington just because having 3 more second-round picks after this pick is pathetic. I don't think they're going to take 6 players. So we're going to have Paul McNeil here go number 42 to Washington.
Okay. Am I doing a trade or am I just I'm trading? I'm drafting him here, right?
We'll do a second round trade at some point. We'll probably just do like a straight up trade to move off of 53 and 60. But San Antonio now back up. They've got Isaiah Evans. They've got Yaxel. I mean, the fact that they're adding those 2 is ridiculous. And they're going to get a little bit richer as well, going Alex Caravan, another floor spacer for him. Yeah. That's a really solid 3 picks for them. I may have them trade pick 46 as well. We said we weren't going to do second round trades, but I just don't see San Antonio taking 4 players. For Cleveland, see, now this is an interesting pick because you've got Billy Richmond, Emmanuel Sharp, Dame Sarr. Like, they've got some guards there. if they don't want to bring Cam Thomas back, I could see them potentially moving in that route. Emmanuel Sharp is a win now player, but they also just took Joshua Jefferson, so I don't think they're necessarily
Emmanuel
going to
Sharp's
want
been
to
in
take.
college for 100 years. How is this
Yeah.
guy still in college? How long has he been
It's
there?
impressive. Probably 5 years.
Like 30? I feel like he's my age. I think I graduated high school with him.
Yeah,
Continue.
he's old.
Emmanuel Sharp. Holy moly.
I do think that they are going to try and look for versatility. So I think Dame Sarr here, I mean, this is a guy who was originally projected top 20. The fact that he's here in the second round, I think you go with the upside swing. Joshua Jefferson was your safe pick. I think now you take a swing pick. So Sarr reminds me a lot of how Drake Powell was utilized in college, just being underutilized and not properly getting the development he needed. I don't think Cleveland's necessarily a pick that, blossoms players, especially where they currently are at now in their contending picture, but I think you go Sarr there without a doubt.
All right. Orlando at 45. I'm moving along here.
Yeah. Man, this is tough. Like, Sharp doesn't necessarily make sense.
If Emmanuel Sharp wasn't an NBA player for his first 10 years in college, why is he an NBA? I'm asking a question. Why is he on my draft charts?
Click on the eye.
But he's 100 years old. 16 points, 1.8 assists.
Solid score. That's really it. But he has been very good for Houston this year.
If he goes to the Nets in the second round, I'll buy an Emmanuel Sharp jersey.
Don't put that out there. You already know somebody's listening just to mess with us. I mean, I don't hate the idea of Stojakovic here. I do think that Orlando is still one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is that question, what's going to happen to Paolo Banchero long term? Donnie Freeman has been absolutely incredible this year. If you click on his eye, I want to say he's in like the 18, 20 points per game. Yeah.
19,
I mean, he's been phenomenal. That's the guy who, say
they
the Nets don't make a trade up. I was going to say the Nets don't make a trade up to the first round and they do select 2 second-round talents. To me, I want Freeman with that second round pick. So with that, I'm going to have them take Stojakovic here. I do think that they need the floor spacing a little bit more.
San Antonio.
Yeah, we got to trade this pick, man. This is ridiculous. I don't think they can take anybody else. They're loaded. So we're going to trade the pick. Who doesn't have a pick currently? I believe, you know what? This honestly makes a ton of sense for Detroit. Detroit trades multiple second-round picks, or just say they trade 2 second-round picks.
Future seconds, yeah.
Yeah, send 46 over to Detroit. We're sending Donnie Freeman to Detroit. I absolutely love that fit.
Trade picks. All right. Detroit's up. And we're taking who?
Donnie Freeman. That is a beautiful, beautiful get for them at 46. I mean, realistically, they're another team that's going to be in that trade contention picture this year. If they're able to go out and get Jaren Jackson next to Jalen Duren, you'd have Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland. We had them select Dalen Swain and now Donnie Freeman. You've got Cade. You can potentially bring back Jaden Ivey. I think that's an incredible roster.
Charlotte's back up. They have Nate Ament and Chris. A good draft for them so far. Ament and Sinek. Yeah.
2 guys that were projected top 10 that you got outside of the top 10. So really good gets for them. I think now is where you go with a bit of a safer pick, somebody that's going to give you NBA rotational minutes. I'm looking at Billy Richmond and Emmanuel Sharp. I also don't hate the idea of Sergio Delaria, though, as another upside swing, but I think that they kind of have to go with a player who's going to give them some consistency. So I'm going to have them select Emmanuel Sharp here. I think that he's got to get off the board.
Extraordinary. All right. Watch, Emmanuel Sharp's going to come in the league and be the Emmanuel Ginobili. He's going to be the best second round pick ever.
I'm Brunson 2.0.
Yeah, Brunson 2.0. All right.
Houston. See, I like this range for Houston. That's the thing. Like, there are a ton of talent still on the board. If you go to the big board right now, You've got Sergio Delaria, Baba Miller, Richie Saunders, Darian Williams. If you keep scrolling down a little bit more as well, yeah, Milos Uzan still here, Dylan Mitchell, Taurus Reed. Taurus Reed is one of my favorite, like, under the radar players this year so far. Houston does have another second round pick coming up at 56. So for now, I do think that they're going to look in the guard department. There is definitely a world where they look there. I don't have Caden Boozer or Boogie Flan being picks this year, so keeping them off the board.
Boogie Flan really fallen off, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Supposed to be a lottery pick last year. Now he's not going into. All right, proceed.
Show me what Krivas has done. I definitely think they're going to need to look at a backup big at some point. The center on the top of the board.
Yeah.
Click on the eye. Let's see what he's done so far this year.
10-9, 11-9,
8.5. He's 7-2.
Yeah.
I don't hate that idea, but I do like the idea of Taurus Reed heading to Houston later on. So you know what? Let's stick with the guard department. Let's go Sergio Delaria here. We'll have them take an upside swing at the guard position. A guy who the last 2 years, a lot of mock drafts have had him projected into the late first round up until around the draft process. So I think that if he's there in the mid-second round, you kind of just take the swing on him.
What is people's problem in the chat? What's your deal, people? We're doing a mock draft. Like, this is the way they work. What is triggering him? What's up, peoples? All right, continue, Dylan. We're all the way up to 49. We're almost through this. Cleveland.
Yes, sir.
They got Josh Jefferson and Dame Sarr. Dame Sarr, 44.
I'm going to have them go with the big man here. Go with Krivas.
Right.
I think that they're going to need a center at some point, especially if they look to move off of Jared Allen. And at 7-2, being able to play next to Mobley, definitely don't hate that idea for him.
Toronto is Billy Richmond the third.
No, they got Braden Burris.
No,
I don't think they go with him there.
All right. They get Braden Burris.
Let's go Baba Miller. Absolutely love this dude. I liked him last year. I like him even more this year. 14 points, 3 assists, almost 11 rebounds on 54%. Very, very athletic for his size. I definitely don't hate that idea there for Toronto, especially if they do look to move off a Jakob Poeltl and go for, an Anthony Davis or a Sabonis. They're going to need that athleticism.
This is becoming the Washington Wizards draft. Yeah.
Let's see. They've got Pete. They've got Mara. They've got McNeil. So they've gone with a freshman, a sophomore, and a junior. I don't hate the idea of a floor spacer here, but I actually think that the upside on Matthew Abel, a guy that has been projected in the late first round, who's now dropping into that second round conversation, there's no guarantee he actually enters the draft this year. But if he does and he wants to stay in that second round picture, I think that this is definitely a high upside swing for a team like Washington. So we're going to have them take Matthew Abel here. Raptors.
It's Raptors.
Go Richie Saunders. Do they need the floor spacing is the question. Yeah, they need the floor spacing. Go Richie Saunders. This is just the most Toronto pick possible. This dude has been absolutely insane this year, averaging 19 points, 49.6% from the field. By far one of the best floor spacers in the draft as well. Do not hate that pick at all.
Washington, again, I think this is it for him.
Yeah, we're going to trade these picks. So 53 and 60 are getting traded to a team that just hasn't selected in the second round. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, Chicago has not had any picks since their first round pick. I don't hate the idea of trading, 2 seconds, like 2 future protected seconds for these picks.
Wash gets future seconds. All right. So this belongs to.
All right. Yeah, they've got Boozer now. I mean, they need a big, and there's just none on the board. But at the same time, you could play Boozer as a small ball 5 if you really feel you can. You know what? Go Alex Condon here. We'll go with Condon for the first pick.
There you go.
Knicks are back up, and they have another second-round pick after this, so we're probably going to have to trade that one away as well. They've got Bennett Sturts. They've got Henry Vassir, so they've gotten 2, upperclassmen. I do think that this is the pick here for Billy Richmond, though. As a
Yeah,
sophomore,
I was
there's a little
thinking
bit
he's
more
got to
upside
go
to
at
his
some
game.
point.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit more upside to his game, so I don't hate that pick for them there, especially as just a two-way role player, a little 3-and-D. But all right, Atlanta back up. They've got Devonsta, they've got Carr. Again, another team that could probably use a big, but they're just there's nothing available right now. I don't hate the pick of Braden Smith here as a backup point guard for them. 6 foot, so he is undersized, but he can play make the shit out of that ball. I mean, 9 assists in college basketball. Very, very solid all around player. And then Houston's backup. This
Rockets.
is where I am going to have Taurus Reed go. I think that this is by far the best fit for him out of any team in the second round. So I think that he's going to be one of those steals in the second round that a lot of people talk about.
Phoenix. Is this Phoenix?
It is.
Yeah. All right.
So scroll down a little bit. I don't like Darian Williams here just because they've got Dylan Brooks. You've got Booker. You've got Green, depending on if they actually decide to keep Green long term. Who knows? I don't hate the pick here of Dylan Mitchell. Just a basic high caliber defender. Having him and Dylan Brooks on you would just be the most annoying shit in the world. But he's also a guy that doesn't force shots. He's very efficient, shooting 60% from the field. Just a solid, defender and rebounder. Not going to get you a ton of points, but just a very serviceable role player.
Minnesota at 58. You're almost through this. Did I lose you? Dylan? Dylan? Uh-oh. Dylan froze up on me? Dylan, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me refresh this real quick. I'm not sure what happened here. I lost Dylan. 2 Garys, no Dylans. All right. Dylan is giving me the responsibility to finish this. I'm gonna finish this up. We're gonna trade the next pick on 59 and we're gonna wrap. This is not me. This is Dylan's strong suit to say the least. Here it is. Let's finish this up. Minnesota at 58. Darian Williams has got to go at some point. He's the best player in the draft. So he's the best player on the board. He's the best player on the board. So we're going to do that for sure. We got the Knicks at 59. We're going to trade the Knicks pick. Who are we trading it to? Trade to Golden State. For a future second trade pick. So Golden State traded in for the pick. They're gonna who did it? Christian is they're gonna take a big. They're gonna take a big.
Are we back?
And then Washington is still on the board. Washington is Chicago. I'm sorry, we should have Washington picks with Chicago.
Gary, can you hear me now? I'm back. Can you hear me?
Wait, what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. What the hell? Where
back.
are you?
All right.
I can hear you.
I'm back. I'm back. We're good. All right. My fault. Wi-Fi shit the bed.
You're super, super low, but we can hear you.
Oh, I am low? Jesus. Mike,
yeah, so
it's right up to the mouth. All right. Oh, shit.
Shoot. Hang on. Wait.
You had the wrong mic on?
Yeah, go ahead. Continue. We got one pick left.
Yeah, my
ahead.
fault. The Wi-Fi shit the bed on me, so I'll try and be quick. Who did you take with the last 2 picks?
Darren Williams, and then I just took a big I never heard of because it was the best big on the board.
Scroll down. Let me see who it is, because it may not be somebody that is going to be in the draft. We can always undo it as an in case. Here, if you scroll all the way on the far right of your screen, all the way down to the players that we've selected.
Iowa.
I don't think he's going to be in the draft necessarily. Okay. Did you go Milos Uzan for Minnesota? That's who I had mentioned originally. I don't know if he's still on the board.
No, I didn't. Uzman, where would he be? Hang on.
Okay, so if you want, scroll all the way to the top. Yeah, so scroll all the way to the top. Do undo pick.
Where is that? Undo.
Yeah, go back to Minnesota at 58.
Okay.
And then we'll do Milos to Minnesota because they need a guard.
Okay.
And then we'll go Darian. Who did we have Golden State? Yeah, Golden State took Christian Anderson. So we'll have them go Darian Williams there because if they trade for Giannis from the hypothetical, then that honestly makes a little bit more sense for them there. And then honestly, ending off with a Tego Wu to Chicago makes sense because if they get rid of Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu, they'll probably be in need of like a 2 guard. So I don't hate that. I think that's really solid.
All right. I think we did good.
That was a fun one. Haven't been able to do one of these in a while. So let's see. Let's do a little recap. Any trades in the first round that we can recap? We've got the Nets trade. We've got the Memphis trade. Philly.
Memphis trade up to get Brown at 6. The Nets traded up to get Kareem Lopez at 22, and then Philly traded up to get Amari Allen at 26.
I don't hate it.
And then we made a couple seconds. All right, when do you want to be back? Dylan? I got to run. I had to run like 6 minutes ago. We're all good though.
No worries at all.
When do you want to be back?
We'll figure it out. I think I have. Should be free either Monday or Wednesday. We'll figure something out though.
All right, awesome. Have a good weekend. We got the BYU Kansas game. That's what time is that? 4:30. You said.
Yes, 4:30 Eastern for anybody who wants to watch Darren Peterson take on AJ DeBonsta.
You guys should watch that. I don't want anyone to come in here and give their opinion when the Nets are drafting first on who they should take unless you watch this game. Fair enough?
That is fair.
All right. I'm going to end this now. I appreciate you, Dylan. We'll see you guys early next week. Have a great weekend. Watch that BYU Kansas game. January 30th, 2026 from Texas to the world. Thank y'all, and God bless.